Ladies and gentlemen, geeks and nerds, welcome back to another episode of Road to HermitCraft, and we're here in the storage room that we started in last episode, and I just wanted to quickly show you a bit of progress. So in stream, we did a live stream on Monday, and we made a start on this floor right here, and I finished it off. So yeah, this is what the floor is going to look like. So yeah, we're just kind of riffing off of the same kind of floor we did above in the project room, and yeah, I feel it's alright. Not too bad, not too bad. Obviously, we're not going to be looking at this very often. It's just going to be there, you know, in the background. But yeah, all done, all done. And that stream was really cool. We spent a bit of time on the Patreon server. We did some voting for the build competition that was there. So well done to Epsilon for winning on the build competition on the Patreon server. So yeah, everything was pretty cool stuff. But yeah. This is the project room. I've got plans, as we talked about last week, for a whole bunch of stuff. We're not going to do that this episode because we spent a lot of time in the Death Star recently, and we've been doing quite a lot of technical stuff. So what I want to do is I want to do something different. So we're going to head on over to the overworld, and yeah, we're going to start a new project, a brand new project. So we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, and that is going to be some building over at the end portal. And yeah, this is going to be outside my comfort zone because I don't really do any kind of building, you know, like city kind of building, that kind of stuff, landscaping, terraforming, that kind of thing. That's not something that I generally do or have any experience with. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. So let me hop on over to the portal room and I'll meet you over there. And here we are over in the bay by our portal room. Our portal room is just underneath us. Down there, we've got the hole down there to get into it. But yeah, this is we spoke about this a couple of episodes ago, I think, and yeah, got a load of really good suggestions of what we could do here. And as you can tell from the intro to this episode, I'm a bit inspired by Game of Thrones. Oh yes. So if you're under 18, you shouldn't have seen that because it's a very adult program. So sorry about that if you haven't seen it. But what I'm going to do is I'll stick, as I'm talking here, I'm going to stick a few pictures on screen just so you can get the feel for the kind of style we're going for. And yes, I was looking around, and it turns out in the Game of Thrones there is a place called Marine. And looking at the map of Westeros and surrounding areas, there's a Marine is just in a bay just like this, and there's also a river that goes nearby just like this one around here, and it's also kind of borders onto a desert, onto some sand. So yeah, it all kind of fits in the kind of terrain wise. So I think looking at some pictures, yeah, we can get inspired by that. So this is not going to be, you know, a carbon copy of Marine, but it's going to be inspired by it. So the first thing we need is we need a name for this place. So what I'd like to do is create a whole kind of lore for this area. You know, what kind of people live here? What do they trade? What's the place called? All that kind of stuff. So that would be really interesting to hear your ideas. And yeah, just like Marine, we're going to have around the coastline, we're going to have some walls. Like defensive walls, and then somewhere in the middle we're going to have like a ziggurat or a pyramid, that kind of thing. So that will be cool. And of course underneath in the depths we can have a big room for some dragons, that kind of thing. So yeah, feeling really inspired by this. Been watching quite a few builders recently, and I think in Wells Knight's recent episode he did a tour of a guy called Fix It, and his builds look absolutely amazing. Now, I don't normally do builds at all like this, so this is totally new for me. I'm totally outside my comfort zone. So this will probably turn out not all that great to start with, but you're only going to get better at something if you try, right? So we're going to give it a go. We're going to try our best, and with the help of the Geek Squad, with your suggestions and ideas and things like that, then I think, yeah, it'll turn out all right in the end. So what I'm thinking is we're going to have a big city wall that goes all the way around the coastline, probably border on the river. There's one river over that side. There's another river over this side, and we're going to have like a main gate over here if I go this way. So the wall will go across here, and I can have like a main gate here that enters onto the desert right here. Obviously we need to take care of this thing, so we're going to have a bit of terraforming, so that'll be fun. So we'll do that too. So that is the main plan, main idea, and that's where we're going to get our inspiration from. But what I thought I'd do is, it's quite hard to kind of visualize this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly around with some maps and create a map wall. I've got the item frames down here already, just here. There we go. So I'm going to create a quick map of this area, stick it in here so we can at least visualize it, and then make a start somewhere. I don't know where to start. I might start with some walls or something around the coastline just to kind of just get going with this thing. And this is going to be a project that's going to take, you know, quite some time, but it's good, I think, to have a bit of variation in episodes. So some episodes we can do in the end, some we can come back over here and do some of this, so you have a good variety rather than doing the same thing every single episode. All right, so let me get started. Let me get the map done, and then try and think about a palette for maybe some city walls, and yeah, make a start on this thing. And here we are. Here is the map of the surrounding area. And yeah, what I've done is I've gone around and I've marked out where I think the walls of our city are going to be. So if I just zoom in here, you can hopefully see these kind of red dots. So these are blocks that I've placed that go around the city, around the city walls. So actually, now I'm thinking about this, I think this is probably a bit too big. So what I'm thinking here is, around here is where I want to have like a main entrance, like a main gate, sort of opens out onto the desert. And the corner of this wall is going to be around here somewhere. So if this is around the midpoint of this wall here, then we probably just want to go up to around here and go across, I think, because this is quite big. This is quite a lot of area to fill up with various buildings and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, probably for our first city, we want to not go too crazy in terms of size. Yes, I think I'm going to, yeah, I've just decided right now as I'm talking, I'm going to move this wall and put it around there somewhere. So I'll go and have a look at the terrain and see where it makes sense. I've tried to do this terrain sort of to keep the high ground. So if you're on the wall, there's on this side of it, on the outside, it's lower ground. I think that kind of makes sense. So that's that. But let's go and have a look around. And I've made a start on what the wall might look like. And what I'm thinking about is, what if you lived in this city. What materials would you be using? So obviously we've got sand over there, so we've got sandstone. We've got a bunch of spruce trees over here, so we should use some spruce. And of course we've got a whole bunch of rocks and stuff, so we can use all of those things. So here is my initial go at doing the first section of our wall. So you can see, yes, mainly made out of sandstone, and obviously the various types, and added some stairs as well for a bit of texture, that kind of thing. And just add a few pillars of spruce just to kind of break it up, give it a bit of colour. Also with some spruce fences for the windows, and then a little bit of decoration on the top with some chiselled sandstone and some stairs and slabs and stuff. Just so, yeah, just so it's not totally bland. Because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to balance, making it not too flat and bland, but also have a bit of detail. But of course, not too much detail because we've got a lot of this wall to build, and if it's too complicated, it'll be too hard to build. So what I'm trying to do here, yeah, get that balance right. So I think that's okay. And then what I'm doing here is where the wall meets the floor, I'm going to have a whole bunch of different types of stones here. Even if we go around and we're near sand, I'm going to add stones just so we get to see the difference between the sandstone wall and the floor. A bit of separation there, so it kind of all stands out. And I think that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. So that's what we're going to go with, I think. So this kind of pattern repeating all the way around, and of course every now and again, especially on the corners, we'll have some taller structures like some towers that go up. So yeah, just got to do this all the way around. So let's take off. Where's my rockets gone? There they are. Let's take off and have a quick tour of the walls. If you can see, let's go. Fly, logic. There we go. So here's where I'm thinking of putting the walls. So yeah, this is going to go too far. Look how far this goes. Yeah, so if we can, let's have a look. So if our main gate is around there somewhere, then we'll probably maybe come over here somewhere, maybe along this ridge here. But yeah, there's also a bit of terraforming we need to do. Some of this land is not too favourable, so there's definitely some bits and pieces of land we're going to take out. And then over here, what I'm thinking for the bay area, I land here. So obviously we've got this bay area, and we'll probably turn this island into some kind of defensive structure, and we'll allow our ships to come in this way, and obviously they can dock in here and then go out this way. It's quite a small bay, I guess, so maybe you can get one ship here docking and another ship over there in a dock. So we'll probably do that as well, and have a nice sort of pathway around here, things like that. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. So I guess what I'm going to do is the rest of this episode, I'm going to focus on just doing the walls around. Not sure how far we'll get, but yeah, we'll see how we get on. So yeah, let's get over there and get some progress on these walls. So as I build up these walls, I've got a few things to talk about and mention. So yeah, let's get onto this thing. So yeah, first thing is we hit 6,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you to everyone who subscribed recently. That's really awesome stuff. It feels like only yesterday we were at like 4,000 and we seem to have got to 6,000 really quickly. So yeah, let's keep that going. So thanks very much to everyone for subscribing. That's really good stuff. And the other bit of good news, I guess, for YouTube is that we've unlocked the community tab. So that's a new feature that YouTube have been gradually rolling out to different channels. You don't do anything to kind of earn it or anything like that. It's just a case of they just kind of roll it out to you. So yeah, we've got that now. So that means I can post messages. That's a bit easier for everyone to get hold of and see. Obviously, I do post things onto Discord as well. So that's another good way to keep up to date with bits and pieces. But yeah, having the community tab is good, very good stuff indeed. And you might notice that I put out a message because this episode is actually pretty delayed. It's actually now Sunday evening, and I've normally already got this one out. And yeah, I'm actually still quite near the beginning of this episode, even though it's Sunday. And that is because I had a bit of an accident. So yeah, let me tell you about it. So what happened was I was just at home and I was putting my daughters to bed, and they actually their bedroom is up in like we've got a loft conversion, so they're kind of upstairs, and they've got stairs that go all the way from their bedroom down to the landing. And yeah, I just tucked them in, said good night, and was walking down the stairs and somehow managed to slip and fall, and I fell from pretty much the top of the stairs down to the bottom. And somehow or other I managed to get my foot stuck in one of the spindles on the way down and pretty badly cut a big chunk out of the bottom of my foot. And yeah, it was not pretty. I'll spare you the gory details, but let's just say it was not pretty at all. So because of that, I ended up going to a walking clinic and saw a nurse, and she basically said I need to keep my feet up, need to rest it. And yeah, it was very difficult to walk on it, things like that. And even sitting down at my desk, you know, trying to do anything at all really, because what happens is when you're sitting down like that, you know, gravity takes hold and all the blood rushes to your feet, and that was quite painful. So yeah, I had to keep my feet up. So yeah, that's why this is delayed, because yeah, I had a little incident, but I feel a bit better now, so I'm able to do some work, which is good stuff. I'm never really a fan of sitting around doing nothing, but yeah, if everything's good, yeah, just gonna crack on with this episode, trying to get this stuff done. But the good thing was that I was able to watch pretty much all of Dockham's charity stream. So if anyone was able to catch that, that was a really good day. He managed to raise, I think his target originally was something like $10,000, but he managed to raise $40,000 in the end, which was absolutely amazing. So well done, Doc. Yeah, I managed to watch all of it, and I certainly saw quite a few names that I recognise giving donations or in the chat. And also he had a little community server for the day, and I certainly saw some names in there that I recognise. So well done everyone for getting involved in that. That was a super epic day. So yeah, just going to carry on building these walls out. So I think at the moment I'm just going to go around and do like the very basics with some of these sandstone blocks, and then we'll go back in and sort of add the detail and stuff afterwards. So I've kind of laid out roughly where the loggers are going to go, so I think that's right. And I've run out of sandstone again. Yeah, we're going to have to go mining for some sandstone. So once I've got the kind of basics of these walls up, probably won't, I'm not going to be able to do all the walls today, because what I think I want to do is I want to make enough progress, get this episode out to you guys, and then get some feedback on what I've done so far with the walls, things like that, and sort of ideas. Because if I go too far and then I get a really good suggestion in the comments, I'll have to undo it all. So yeah, I don't want to do that. So yeah, we'll probably do, not sure how far we'll get. Maybe we'll do all of this up to the gate, maybe a bit on the other side. Probably won't do the gate today, but if we got there and we do a bit more on that side, we'll get the layout of where the walls are going to go properly. And yeah, we'll so here is the wall so far. So we've just done this this corner at the moment. So here is this side right here, and on this side, I just scoot around this way. Here we are on this side. So yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. So yeah, we've got the stone underneath to kind of differentiate the walls to the floor. And over this side, there was some natural grass, so I kind of just left that. And where we've got grass, I've also used some of these the mossy cobble as well. Kind of fits in, I think. Did a bit of bone meal in here to get a little bit of grass. So I think this is the kind of theme. I'm going to keep this wall following the line of terrain as much as I can where it makes sense, and yeah, separate the walls from the floor like this. I think that looks okay. So I'm going to stop here for the time being, because on this side, this is where the gate is going to go, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that just yet. So I'm going to leave that for the minute, and we can come back to that. But the next thing we need to do is over this way. Oh, if I can fly. 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 There we go. So the next bit is from this way. I'm just growing some vines there ready for the mossy cobble if we need some more. So basically we're up to this point here, and the wall is going to go along this ridge, along this this hillside here. And if you look kind of down this way, you can see that roughly the red concrete I've put down as markers are roughly in a diagonal line. So I'm going to try and turn this wall diagonally and sort of just follow it from there, and that will take us up all the way up to the coastline pretty much. And what I'll probably do, I'll probably just stop there, because I might, in fact, let's go over there and have a quick look. So it'll stop round about here somewhere, and then probably leave it there for the time being for today, once we've done that. So that means that we've got some space here to do some interesting stuff on the coastline, to do with the port, that kind of thing. And also obviously get your feedback as well. The other thing I want to do is add some towers onto the wall, so it's not just one straight road. So probably have let's land up here actually, probably have a tower just here on this corner, one over that side there before the gate starts, and probably one there before it turns diagonally. So yes, so three towers and a diagonal wall that way. So that doesn't seem like much. I'm kind of looking at this now thinking, oh, I haven't done much this episode, but actually it took a bit of time to obviously design this up, get the resources together, and obviously actually building this took a bit of time, and I'm a little bit delayed this week as well, so I'm keen to get this out as well for you guys. I'm conscious that it's been a delay, so that's that. Now there's one other thing. There's two things. I've got a list of things of two two things to mention. So first of all, it's some really good news. So I did a stream last night. It's currently Tuesday, so I did a stream Monday night like I normally do, and we have finally qualified for the Twitch affiliate program. So we are in, and I've applied for it all, filled all the forms, and we're in. So yeah, if you use Twitch, then you can now join that and sub to my Twitch streaming. So that is pretty cool. So I'm really excited about that. Going to be working out things like emotes and if there's any extra perks, that kind of stuff. That's all to come. But yeah, basically got qualified for that, and yeah, all good, all set up. So that's the good news. And in terms of this area, one more thing I want to talk about is I want to make this kind of functional as well, actually. So what I want to do is, so underneath this island, we have our end portal, as we've spoken about before. Now, what I want to do is I want this area to be functional in that I want it to do two things. I want it to produce two things. I say, well, I have two things here that produce stuff. So basically, the first thing is I want to have like a big beacon mine underneath. And obviously that's where we can go to gather up resources for all the kind of stones, that kind of stuff, you know. And I want to have a system underneath here where we can just chuck all the stones into maybe water streams. It gets taken to a central location and sorted and boxed up into shulker boxes. And then those shulker boxes are then going to get sent through the portal and eventually end up in the Death Star all automatically. So all of our main storage is all going to be in the Death Star. So we need to obviously set up the beacon mine, set up all the technical stuff around that, and obviously decorate the end portal room. And I'm thinking we might go, I'm not sure what we're going to do with the end portal room just yet, but you know, we're kind of in a desert and there's pyramids and there's a portal to another world, so maybe we can think about that. That might be cool. And the other thing, I think I mentioned it already, maybe a different episode, but I would like to have a mob farm in here somewhere, because I think, if I remember rightly, it's generally good to build mob farms in a desert because you get less zombie spawns because of the husks. I'm not quite sure how that works. I need to just double check on that. But I think that's probably a good thing to have in the desert somewhere. And again, all the drops that come out of that we want to package up into shulker boxes and send through the portal and get them all stored in the Death Star as well. So that is what we're going to do. All right. So enough jibber jabber. Let's get on and build the rest of this wall, and then yeah, we can finish it up. Okay, I think that is enough wall building and terraforming for today. So let's have a look. We've got Logical Geekbot in drone mode. So let's take a look at what we've done so far. So I was hoping to do a bit more, but yeah, this actually took a lot longer than you might imagine. So yeah, let's take a look at this wall just so you get an idea. So obviously you need to imagine this is going to go all the way around our city. But yeah, so what we're going to have is going to have these towers every so often. We've got this mixture of the sandstone with the spruce wood, and of course then around the bottom we've got all these rocks, kind of like as if imagine you was living in this city. When you built these walls, you'd probably put down a whole bunch of rocks to start with, you know, part of the foundation layer. So yeah, that's what those rocks are there, supposed to be kind of kind of imitating. And yeah, so we've got these towers that are good for watching out, see what's going on. And then obviously we go around this way, more tower, another tower there. And there is a wall, and then this bit was the bit that's a bit tricky, is to try and make this this wall go at an angle, which is was not too easy in Minecraft. But yeah, so that's how much. So you've got plenty of space on the top to walk along, and of course we had to terraform all of those rocks out all the way because there wasn't any land there originally. And I think that looks okay, maybe a bit too much cobble, not sure. But yeah, as my first kind of you know, landscaping kind of job, I think it's not too bad. But yeah, obviously looking for any suggestions or comments yeah, to help us out. So that is what we're looking like. Not too bad, not too bad. And if we kind of pan back a little bit, obviously this is where the bay is. And so this wall will carry on all the way to the shoreline. So we can just carry that on. So that's not too bad. And yeah, just imagine this wall going all the way around the city. And then inside is where we're going to have lots of different buildings, as we spoke about before. All right, so let's go back and say hi to this handsome fellow. So here we are going along the wall, looking out for invaders, and then we can walk through these tunnels just like this. I'm going to add some ladders and stuff so we can go up to the top, but that's not quite there just yet. But yeah, we can walk all the way through down to this next one, and then we can walk along the top here quite easily, get to the other side. So yeah, I think this has worked out quite well. Yeah, I'll be interested in what you think about this episode, because like I say, like building and stuff is not really my forte. So, and yeah, any sort of suggestions about the format of the video, that kind of stuff, that's also useful, because obviously I want to make this as interesting for you as possible. And yeah, this is pretty new to me, so yeah, I'm on that learning curve. And yeah, I've got the window there. We're not over there. I missed one. Jeez. Okay, I'll go and do that in a minute. All right, but I think that's probably enough for this episode. As I spoke about earlier, I'm a bit behind, so I want to try and catch up. And the good news is I already have planned what we're doing next episode, and that is going to be a good one. So yeah, hopefully I can just crack on and get the next one recorded, and then we'll be back on schedule at the weekend as usual. So thank you very much, my geeks. If you've got any comments or suggestions, then get it in that comment section. And if you like the video, then hit that like button. And if you are new, then feel free to subscribe. If I could talk. Until next time, my geeks, I will see you later.